Call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock on Tuesday, March 22nd. We're a week late because of spring break. Hope you all had a good one. Welcome, everyone. It's nice to see a big crowd with, not only a big crowd, but a big crowd with smiles. I see a lot of smiles out there, so that's always good. We'd like to begin with our invocation and pledges.
Yes, sir. So good evening, board members. I just want to say thank you for being at this meeting, and we're going to welcome all of we have a lot of our educators here, a lot of our students here in the community, and I'd like to introduce Mr. Roger Campos. He's going to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiances, our invocations.
Thank you. Everybody please rise. Springtime is a season of optimism and hope. Thank you for the reminder of renewal that spring represents to us here on earth. You're always there, always encouraging, always speaking life and truth over us. Thank you for the gifts of wisdom and fellowship among the staff, students, and community of Southwest ISD. Thank you for protecting us as we traveled here and for providing a way for us to meet, learn, and grow. Please guide our hearts as we make our decisions. We seek you first in all we do together and lead us through our purpose and work. Lastly, we pray for the citizens of Ukraine who have been displaced and for the families who have been separated and for each of them who have sought safety, and pray that they find comfort, peace, and strength. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Mr. Campos.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Roger. Okay, recognitions. I think we have a couple, huh?
Yes, sir. We have thousands of great students and phenomenal students here at Southwest ISD. And this evening, we get to recognize 3 of them who have been nominated by their campus as a special recognition in front of our trustees. And we're also going to recognize a very important group of educators who have also been identified through their campus procedures as Teachers of the Year. And so I'd like to turn it back over to Ms. Jenny Suniga-Collier, who's going to do our first group of recognitions.
I will be doing Students of the Month. First up is Sky Harbor. Mia Ochoa, will you please come up? Mia is an artistic and outgoing 5th grader who exemplifies the qualities of a true leader at Sky Harbor. She has perfect attendance for this year, and she loves the arts, especially drawing and painting on canvases. She aspires to participate in art and band and in middle school, especially percussion. Mia is hardworking and strives every day to challenge herself to meet her goals and aspirations. In academics, her goal is to perfect her mathematical skills and maintain A's in all other subjects. Mia exemplifies the characteristics of a Sky Harbor dolphin because she is friendly, loving, caring, and curious. Congratulations. Next up is Brian Vetta Jr. for McCullough Middle School. He is from McNair Middle School. Brian is an A honor roll student. The 7th grader is described as a friendly and kind person who loves to help others. He participates in numerous service projects, most recently donating items to a shelter during Christmas time and candy for trunk or treat. Brian loves to be the center of attention and loves to dance. He works hard every day to accomplish his goals and always does it with a smile. His teachers say he is a joy to have in class, and his classmates absolutely love him. Brian is an asset to the school, and McNair is proud to recognize him as Student of the Month. All right, next up is Diego Tolar from Southwest Legacy High School. Diego is a hardworking student. The senior is a gifted one with an amazing self-taught artistic talent. He creates elaborate work with only pencil and paper. He sketches pictures with a vivid imagination and extensive detail. At Southwest Legacy High School, he's learned how to bring those pictures to life in his graphic design and animation class. His CTE teacher, Mr. Ferdinand, describes Diego's abilities as a rare talent, and he states that Diego shows tenacity and a passion for his work. Diego's art has even been displayed at the San Antonio Children's Museum. Diego plans to attend college to study the fundamentals of art, to learn advanced art techniques, and he hopes to one day publish his work. Diego makes our legacy community proud. Congratulations.
Why do I look like a student up here?
All right, ready and smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on right there. Parents, students, faculty, want your picture?
I'd just like to point out, we have a lot of phenomenal students at Southwest ISD, and for you guys to be selected is a very special honor. I hope that you feel that way. We know we're very proud of you and for everything you do. And we also know behind every student of the month are families of the month. So our family, our dear grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters of these 3 amazing students, would you please stand up and let us recognize you as well? The principals of the campus represented here, but our principals, please stand up. Let us recognize you. That's probably exciting. You don't have to stand there any longer. Congratulations. Thank you.
And now for our Teacher of the Year recognitions, our Community Relations Coordinator, Samantha Booth.
I've been told I need to try to project my voice. So if you can't hear me, please let me know. Tonight, we'd like to recognize our 2021-2022 Southwest ISD Teachers of the Year. Their enthusiasm for teaching, love for children, and their expertise make them teachers that are highly respected and admired among their peers and within this great community. We thank them for all that they do, and this recognition tonight is just a small token of that appreciation. So teachers, as I call you, please come up to grab your certificate, make your way around to senior staff and the board, and then to Miss Collier over there for your goodie bags.
You guys also like to mention, in the goodie bag, there's a check. We didn't give it to the students, I'm sorry. We do have a compensation that comes with being teacher of the year, so that is awesome. I just want to make sure you don't throw it away.
So for our campus teachers of the year, Bob Hope Elementary, Portia Matthews. Hidden Cove STEAM Academy, Brenda Chapa.
Thank you so much for what you do. Portia.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Indian Creek Elementary, Christina Bettis.
Good job. I thank you for taking care of our kids. Thank you. Congratulations.
Creewald Road Elementary, Selena Gonzalez.
Christina, thank you so much for what you do. Congratulations.
Meadow Creek Elementary, Whitney Geyer. Southwest Elementary, Anna Karen Praga. Sorry.
Thank you, Whitney. Load the boots. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Spicewick Park Elementary, Valerie Trevino.
you so much for taking care of our kids.
Thank you.
Sun Valley Elementary, Jessica Gonzalez.
Elder, thank you for taking care of our kids.
Congratulations.
McNair Middle School, Leslie Lawford.
God, thank you for taking care of our kids.
Congratulations.
Resnick Middle School, Allison Havey.
Thank you for taking care of our kids.
Your problem with practice is
Congratulations.
Southwest Legacy High School, Kyle Black.
Thank you for taking care of our kids.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Cass Stem High School, Crystal Mares.
Kyle, thank you for taking care of our kids.
Crossroads, David Martinez, who is not present today.
Crystal, thank you for taking care of our kids.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Now moving on to our elementary district finalists. For Elm Creek Elementary, Miss Samantha Lascano. Sky Harbor Elementary, Lilia Carrillo.
Thank you for taking care of our kids.
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Moving on to our secondary district finalists. For McCullough Middle School, Miss Belen Rodriguez, who I believe is not in attendance today.
Okay.
And for Scobie Middle School, Mr. David Ellis. And to introduce our elementary district teacher of the year from Big Country Elementary, Amanda
Thank you for taking
Aguirre
care of our
Carrion.
kids.
And our secondary district teacher of the year from Southwest High School, Miss Julie Schamberger.
Care of our kids.
So I'd just like to point out, our elementary teacher of the year will represent our district. These are the King 5.
Julie, we're so proud of you. Thank you for taking care of our kids.
And our other teacher of the year will represent us in the Trinity 5 teacher of the year competition that comes up later.
Thank you for everything.
So we're extremely proud of all of our educators of the year. They do a tremendous job, and it's been very difficult in the last few years, moving from virtual to face-to-face, virtual face-to-face. You guys are just critical. So please know we're proud of you for everything that you do. I'm really proud of the way you guys lined up. Right now. Part of our thing is to see if y'all figure it out. That's perfect. We're gonna group photo.
Big smiles and we had 1, 2, 3. One more.
And 1, 2, 3. Record is good. There you go. Right there. Perfect. Wait, one more time, sorry. And 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I know the spouse. If we have any family members of our beautiful educators out there, our family members, you can please stand up, parents or our spouses, let us congratulate them. We need to back. Congratulations, we're extremely proud of you, and you have all of our honor for doing the job that you do each and every day. Congratulations. So, Mr. President, that does conclude our recognition this evening for the faculty, sir.
Okay, on behalf of the board, I'd also like to say, we're proud of all of our staff, all of our faculty, all our staff. We do what we do for our kids, but we know we can't take care of our kids without you guys. And you guys stood out, at the top, and you were selected primarily by your campuses. We are so proud of you, and we truly thank you for all you do for our kids. Okay, taking care of our kids, okay, because that's what you do. You teach them, you covet them, our kids, you take care of them. And we're extremely proud of you, and we thank you so much. Now at this time, do we have anybody signed up? No? Okay, we're gonna take like a 2-minute break because this was the exciting part of this meeting, okay? The rest, you're welcome to stay, but we'll give you a couple of minutes to leave if you'd like at this time, okay? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and continue with the meeting. Oh, what'd you do, Mr. Black? Okay, we'll continue with the meeting now with the consent agenda. And before we move on it, item B1, unfortunately, is no longer necessary. The Southwest High School Theater to Round Rock, Texas is not necessary, so we will pull that. Board members, do you all have any concerns on any of the other consent items? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
I second.
There's a motion, a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Items of information. Brandon, we'll begin with you. Okay. Thank you. Monthly tax report.
Yes, sir. 91%, but that 91 is pretty much moving off par from last year, so everything is pretty good now.
Any questions, board members? You've had the financial report, the investment report. Any questions on those? Hearing none. Report on gifts and bequests. Enrollment report, anything you'd like to say, Lloyd?
We're hoping to say about 13.3 and change before you for the year. Our attendance is improving. We have strategies that we get kind of to the final 2 6-week periods to really increase.
Thank you. Review of purchases over 50,000. Board members, any questions?
No.
Calendar of events, you have that before you. Okay, we miss anything? Anything you want to add to the calendar?
No, sir, we also have this, that our communication department put together for everyone.
Oh, yes, I see that.
Go along with that as well. There's some events that pop up that may not be on that, so we have to kind of do a cross reference.
Yeah, I see the boys and girls soccer teams are in the playoffs, so it's gonna be a-
Undefeated soccer team. This is our first time ever.
For both schools.
Yes.
Anybody scored all four.
Awesome.
history continues to be made. Great.
And just to make a note, the competition for the one at play is Cast STEM, competing for the one at play for by district. 324.
Instead of Legacy High School. Thank you. Okay, item 7, we'll postpone till after closed session. Item 8A, consider approval of Southwest ISD Scholarship Committee recommendations for 2022. Jesse?
Yes, sir. Good evening, board members. Wanted to share the Southwest ISD Scholarship Committee recommendation for this year. If you all remember back in the fall, in November, the scholarship committee met and determined that they wanted to go with one set amount per student this year. In the past, we had done kind of levels of disbursements for students. This year, we decided because of the addition of CASTEM High School with Southwest Legacy and Southwest High School together, that it was going to be better to move to one set amount per student. So we opened up the process. Each campuses went through and kind of filtered out which students were able to qualify. The final numbers on qualifiers, we had 191 students who qualified. That included 34 from CASTEM, 55 from Southwest Legacy High School, and 102 from Southwest High School. And that means that each student would get $655 of the $125,000 that are allocated to give scholarships. So that is what the scholarship committee is bringing to the board as the recommendation for each student this year, to approve 191 qualified students, the $125,000 that we were able to use for scholarship funds, and that would come out to $655 per student.
I move.
We have a motion and a second that we approve the Southwest ISD Scholarship Committee to award a total of $125,000 for 191 qualified students, which comes out to $655 apiece. Any discussion? Questions?
I just have a question.
Yes,
On
ma'am.
that, how many, right now, how many graduating seniors are at Southwest High School and Southwest Legacy High School?
So I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 425 and 450.
Yeah, we're out there between 450 and 500 both schools.
Both schools? How come the number's so low at Legacy?
So,
It's 54, right, and there's 102 at Southwest?
right, so part of that is the qualification process they have to go through. There's an attendance qualification that really hurt a lot of our kids this year because of COVID. And so in years past, that wasn't a challenge for us as it's been before. So this year we did have a lot of students because of that attendance issue that really kind of got knocked off.
And it's the same,
Yes, it's the same
qualification for both.
criteria for all of the
Okay.
students, yes.
all right.
Any other questions? We do have a motion, a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Jesse.
Mr. Vasquez, I also want to take a point of opportunity to thank Jesse and Dr. James Gates, who's the chair of the 20-member committee that meets and goes through here and has the conversations. This is different this year, the distribution. And so We meet in the fall to come up with kind of the process of application we're going to look at. And then we meet again in the spring to do distribution. And so we think this is probably the fairest way that we can distribute the funds to all the students to get them all started beyond post-high school opportunity. So Dr. Gates has been doing it since the inception of this program, and he's done a great job with it. And Jesse.
Thank you. Okay, business and finance. Before we turn it over to Brandon on this, I just want to remind the board that these items were discussed in closed session, and we gave them the go-ahead because it's property. We cannot discuss. We can make a motion for approval or disapproval. Brandon?
So today, we're just asking the board to approve our recommendation, and so I know Mr. Wilkin has a motion.
I move that the board adopt a written resolution in the form provided to the trustees authorizing the purchase of the property described in the agenda item and resolution as presented, and authorizing the superintendent to tender the purchase price of the property and the amount of closing and other costs to the title company for payment to the sellers of the property, and to execute any documents necessary to effect the purchase, and directing that the board secretary place a copy of the resolution in the official minutes of this meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Brandon. Consider approval of naming the new aquatic center.
Yes, sir. So on your desktop, there's a little packet for you. We went through a process of creating a board policy, CWO local, that could guide the district on how we should go about on naming district facilities. There's criteria. With that criteria, we created some admin regulations, which include surveying our stakeholders, taking the recommendations to facilities subcommittee and also growth and planning. Based on data that we received and feedback that we got from stakeholders in the different committees, the district is recommending naming the facility the Southwest ISD Aquatic Center. And at the same time, because there was a lot of great people, a lot of influential people, a lot of people that did service to the district, to our country, to different parts of that were recommended. But for this project, there was two individuals that had the vision, had the mindset to move forward to help us get this facility. And so we would like to do what we normally do in our district practice, is to honor those individuals, Mr. Mac Umack and Mr. Mike Frazier, the same way we did across the district with other individuals. And we would like to put memorial plaques on the wall representing what they've done for the district as far as the aquatic center. So today we're asking the board to approve the recommendation of naming the facility the Southwest ISD Aquatic Center, and also allowing us to represent with through plaques those individuals that helped us get to that point of opening this facility.
On page 3 is a tribute plaque that we've used before in the district of your packet. And we would like to do that honor tribute within something very, very similar to this. We'd also like to include it in the foyer when you immediately walk into that facility. That duo, all of you have done a tremendous job, and a lot of other folks, but they've been after this facility for over 3 decades, and we just think it's very important and appropriate to honor that duo.
I move.
We have a motion and second that the board approve the recommendation of staff to name the aquatic center Southwest ISD Aquatic Center, and approve the tribute plaques to recognize Mike Frazier and Maximo Mac Umack. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Brandon. Consider approval of aquatic center staffing.
Yes, sir. And so in line with opening the aquatic center, we presented previously at a brown bag the type of facility, type of operations we want like to run at that facility. We're getting in the season of hiring across the district in all kinds of different capacities. But to open this, and we're getting close, hopefully June is our target date. We would like to have the board approve the staffing model that we brought forth. And if there's a list of the individual positions that we need to have for this, to run this facility. Now, we won't hire all these at one time, but this would be a start. This would be added to the budget. So really to start this, we already have our aquatics director, but we would probably most likely need to hire the facility operator, custodians, and maybe another coordinator to help get just the summer programming started. And then we will be adding these as we go through the year. Hopefully we can get them all hired by the end of the summer. And then so that we can start our programming starting in 2022, 2023. And so based off these positions, it's about $860,000 that's going to be added to our district budget. And so I wanted to make sure the board knew that. At the same time, these positions will be much needed to run this facility. So we're asking the board to approve the staffing model for the aquatic center.
I move that the board approve the proposed staffing.
How many employees will you have?
There's going to be about 11, there's about 10 full-time, and there's like lifeguards that are going to be part-time employees.
I got a question on the I guess the coaches.
So-
How does the coach, are we still gonna have coaches like,
So
I know they're at Southwest, we have one at Legacy, so is that gonna be like a full-time job?
So those
now?
coaches, the idea behind those coaches, the full-time swim coach will also be the full-time water polo coach, but they'll also be at the facility housed there to run our swim program.
Okay,
And so they will be taken off the campus, and we will need to replace those with teachers because they're teachers as well right now. And so that's why they were full-time adding to the budget, because they will run full-time at that facility. When we're not there with our athletes, they'll be there with sixth graders, they'll be there with the third graders and do the swimming lessons so that we don't have to try to find people to do that. That's the model we found from other school districts that had success with trying to run a learn to swim program. During the middle of the day, if we don't have anybody there, we can't have a program. That's those two coaches, the head coaches would be housed there.
so there won't be no stipends or anything for swimming pretty much?
Well, no, because they're gonna be on a different type of scale, because we're gonna have to move them probably to 226 a year round type, because we're gonna run this thing during the summer. And if we have to look at that part, because there's two ways to look at it. So we're gonna have to kind of discuss that. We want them to apply for it and want to stay in it. And so we're gonna have to work with them to see how we can, not everybody wants to work year round. So that's a thing that we'll have to kind of debate.
There's also assistant coaches, correct?
Well, the assistant coaches will still be on campus, and then they would go over to help during like the athletics and all that. But the head coach is we're going to house there full-time during the day to run our learning school program.
We do have a motion on the floor.
A second.
We now have a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Brandon. Consider adopting resolution to register and participate in Source Well Purchasing Cooperative.
We have many memberships to cooperatives. Just to give you an idea of what a cooperative does, the district is by law has to procure anything over $50,000 a commodity. So if we buy anything that costs more than $50,000 over throughout the year, we have to go out for an RFP or we have to be part of a cooperative. We join cooperatives because they have more buying power, because they bring all the districts and all the government agencies together. And so they get better pricing instead of us doing it by ourselves. Sometimes there's reasons why we do it by ourselves, but cooperatives really help us chase better pricing and better value. There's a couple of vendors that we like to do business with and some that we do business with now that we can get better pricing if we are part of this cooperative. So we're asking the board to allow us to, there's no fee, allow us to join this cooperative and use the power of their procurement to allow us to do business.
Is this just one of many we got?
Yeah, so buy board is another one, tips. So we're members of a lot of cooperatives. I would say a lot. I mean, even Region 20 has one for our food service. And so this is just another one that we can put in our tool belt to use if we want to find a contract for a certain service or product.
I move.
I second.
We have a motion, a second. That the board adopt the attached resolution allowing the district purchasing department to register and participate in Sourcewell Purchasing Cooperative. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Consider the approval of RFP 2122-114 for data backup and recovery. You're doing, Jeff.
Good evening, everyone. How are y'all doing? one of the, with technology, we're always trying to do what we can to move forward, to be more efficient, and to be more secure. And one area where we can really use to improve is in our backup and recovery plans. There's a lot of ways that we fight cybersecurity, and a lot of times your backup plan is what kind of takes the last seat because it doesn't seem as urgent. But the way we've gone about doing it has been as fiscally responsible as we've had out of our own budget. But we need some help to get better with this. We put out an RFP trying to find a new solution that is more dependable than what we currently have, more secure, to be able to store more data, and then to be able to recover a lot more quickly. So we had, I believe, 6 respondents. CDW responded with the Cohesive product, which is ranked very, very highly by all the tech publications, a lot of the Cisco even uses them. So unfortunately, they came in at a very low price point. And so we're asking the board to recommend the leasing product through CDW as a backup recovery solution.
And so just for the board, Jeff and his team have really gone out and really tried to make this more secure because of things that have been going on with cybersecurity. And so we've done a lot of things up to this point. Already within his budget. This wasn't a budgeted item. We just felt like based on what we've seen around our area that we move faster on this. So I didn't put this in the budget. So this would be a one-time purchase, $1 for 5 years.
That's correct. It's for 5 years. That includes
Okay.
the hardware, the licensing, and the support for 5 years.
That's good to know.
Just so the board is also aware, we've also received correspondence to really make sure we're honing in and really addressing this issue sooner more than later.
I would say that the process, backup usually is the afterthought, but once you get it, that's your lifesaver.
Should you turn to,
You need to focus on that.
So, I mean, the pricing is like real big for each one. I mean, what's your consideration for this to be the right one? I mean, because like from going from 500,000 to like 85,000, what made you recommend this?
Well, we did demos with several of these products. This is one we were honestly hoping would come in low. The way that this compares to a lot of other solutions is that, I guess, what makes them more affordable. One is going through CDW. They've always been really good to us, but one thing that they can do is this Cohesive software can really compress your data, right? So if you have, basically it's like turning a log into a stick. And so we can put more data into one box and we'll be able to right now.
Right now, the market's very volatile. Pricing, some of those companies we don't really do business with, and so they probably find the same thing. How much it's going to cost you because everybody right now.
I move.
Second.
So a motion and a second, the board approves CDWG as the awarded vendor for RFP 2122-114. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you, sir. Consider approval of asphalt repairs at Southwest Legacy High School and Resident Middle School.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Due to expansive soils at both sites at Resnick and Legacy High School and vehicle traffic throughout, we have received some failures on asphalt repair or asphalts that are now due to repair. Right now, we're estimating about 12,000 square feet all throughout. And this is again both in Resnick and Legacy High School. The main bus loop, the life skills bus drop off pickup, parents drop off and pick up. So what we went is we got 3 bids from 3 different paving companies that we have worked with. We only received one for PaveCon. However, PaveCon is part of the by-board cooperative. So TEC allows us to use, allows school districts to purchase through interlocal co-op agreements. The cost of this was $80,000 for budgeted funds. And our recommendation is that the board approve PaveCon LTD as a paving contractor for the Southwest Legacy High School and Resnick asphalt repair, not to exceed $80,000.
Like little cut patches that they're making?
That's correct. So they would cut
But the bank can go back in.
about 24 inches past the alligator cracking that you see. They'll compact it. This product actually has a cement mixture within it. So It's set to last longer, but however, we're gonna be going through this throughout the years.
Quick question on the Resnick exit,
Mhm.
all the construction and the heavy equipment, vehicles that are coming up and down the main exit and by the.
Are you talking the Watson or
Yeah.
the main?
Yeah, the walking.
Yes.
So right there and then right where the road comes out from Resnick.
Mhm.
Are we gonna hold those companies responsible for all the damage they're doing on that road? Well, so we're not paying that. That road no longer belongs to us. Okay. We turned that over, right?
Right.
We turned that over to the county once we built it, and then now they're the ones that maintain that road, so.
Now, in this,
Okay, I just didn't want to make sure that it was right. Yeah, whichever.
in this corner, the county does have that turnaround project to be coming.
Yeah.
So that's all gonna get redone.
Yeah, it's just right there by the.
This right here.
They're starting to do work right there.
Right.
Well, that's the county road that goes over behind Redmond.
Yes.
We
All the
built
way
it on
down.
our, we built it on our property and paid for our portion of the development. So for example, the property across the street just recently sold. When that development comes in, they're gonna have to finish the rest of that 2-lane road all the way down that side. So they'll. It was on our property originally, but we have basically deeded it to the county, and so they're upkeep.
Is that the road supposed to go back to Texas A&M?
Yeah, eventually it will connect over kind of near as far as more.
Right on this end, it's supposed to go
Which road is it?
Behind the stadium.
Oh,
this road.
And someday the future plan was that will connect to the Verona Park.
We also met with the city on Watson Road, completion of Watson Road, and they do have a long-term plan, but that road is really one of the worst conditions they've ever seen. And they're aware of that. They're laying down asphalt right now, but it's kind of throw it on quick and just a little bit to.
I move.
We have a motion and a second that we approve PaveCon Ltd. as a paving contractor for Southwest Legacy High School and Resnick Middle School asphalt repairs in the amount not to exceed $80,000 and allow district staff to negotiate the terms of the contract. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. And we have a consider approval of campus wrought iron fencing project.
Yes, sir. On the next project, so throughout the last couple of years, we have moved into replacing our aging chain link fencing with our new standard, which is the wrought iron fencing. This year, we will be moving forward with 4 different sites: Big Country, Crewald, Elm Creek McNair, and Scobie Middle School. What we went ahead and did, again, because of the escalation in prices and product, we developed the drawings to include a base bid and a null alternate. What you see here at Big Country, because of the location and the corner, we wanted to capture all the main entrances, but just the site layout of Big Country, the smaller portions past each main entrance, we went ahead and just included that on the base bid. However, for Crewald Elementary, we incorporated the entry off of Pew Road and then the last entry past the channel on Crewald Road. What you have in yellow was slated to be an add alternate on it. For McNair and Elm Creek, it's mainly the frontage of both campuses. What we included as the add alternate was the section that's still slated to be or receive some development through Bear County improvements. So we included that as an alternate. And then on Scobie, again, the corner of the property and go past the last entrance or the bus entrance in the corner of Marbach and Pew Road. So we bid this project out through our small IDQ general contractors. We received 2 bids on February 17th. And on the second page, you see the bid tabulation. The cost of this project, however, will be funded through budgeted funds and fund balance. And our recommendation is that the board approve MLP Ventures for the wrought iron fencing for the base bid only, which is $650,671.
And we are not recommending the alternates because
So if we recommend all the alternates, this is an $896,000 project. Our original budget was 400,000
Okay.
for this project.
I'm
So
with you.
Maybe not putting all the extra add-ons, but I can see the benefit of that. Keeping that traffic that walks up and down there from getting into the school. But the fences, we still would need to change.
Yes.
We're not taking the fence down, we're just replacing it. And we've done this, we did this here.
Yeah, face that. Mhm.
Right now, just the market,
Okay.
steel pricing and all that is really high, and so we were hoping to do the whole project for 450,000, just to do the base is about 600,000. So
Okay.
because he's even near on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
right.
No, we wouldn't remove any of the changes, we leave what's there.
That's existing.
I move.
Second.
We have a motion, and a second, that the board approve MLP Ventures Incorporated for the wrought iron fencing project in the amount of $671,000. Any other questions?
I recuse, abstain.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, we have 5-4, 1 abstention. Motion passes. Thank you. Consider approval of purchase of furniture for Southwest ISD Aquatic Center.
Yes, sir. So with the opening of our new facility, we will need to provide furniture for this facility. We are recommending JR Inc. To go through JR Inc., which we have previous experience with. The pricing was competitively bid through Region 20 purchasing co-op. And the amount will be not to exceed 115,000, or budgeted funds will be used for this project. Our recommendation is that the board approve the new furniture from JR Inc. in the cost not to exceed 115,000 for the new Southwest ISD Aquatic Center.
I move.
Second.
So a motion is second to approve the purchase of furniture from JR Inc. at the cost not to exceed 115,000 for the Southwest ISD Aquatic Center. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, sir. CNI, item 10. Consider approval of the Penguin project.
Yes, we appreciate the board. I know that different pieces of information. And so today we're going to hear from Mr. Flores, what we are ready to launch and for your approval.
Good evening, Chairman Vasquez, members of the board, Superintendent Erskine. You saw this presentation earlier at the Brown Bag earlier in the month. This request is to approve temporary prorated stipends to get the project off the ground for the Penguin project. The stipends would go to individuals that will be chosen at a later time, so that those individuals will start their work now and then also work the camp that's going to happen in the summer. And obviously that will not be the same amount as what a full year stipend would be. So we decided to work in a prorated amount. Can I move forward here? There we go. And so just very, very briefly, these are the Penguin project goals. We've shown you this PowerPoint before, so I'm not going to dwell on it too long, but we're going to be taking these next steps, creating these prorated stipends for the remainder of the school year in the summer, and then also selecting the personnel for those stipend positions, and then creating an operating budget as well for the Penguin project. And then we'll roll that out to the community and then establish the camp dates, which I believe we've selected dates already. Dr. Hogan has already selected some dates in July, and then establish the application process and then set those parent meetings so that we can start broadcasting that out. So the summer camp, in fact, those dates are there, July 18th through 21st. We're looking at a shorter time frame with some breaks in between there for a snack or maybe lunch from 12 to 2:30. And we felt like that would be the appropriate amount of time for that 1 week camp. And the the proposed structure for next year, for the 22-23 school year, this is just for your information. This part of it here would be, this would be kind of the range of stipends for the full year for next year. But what we're asking to have approved this evening is what these prorated stipends would be for the current year. And those amounts are listed there. Production director, the technical directors, and all the different coordinators and so forth that we learned were essential to this project from the other districts.
We also want to thank Ms. Bernal and Ms. Doken, Ms. Garza Lopez. They all attended the site visit trip, and we got to see this firsthand about the benefits and how it lifts our students, and it stands to be one of the biggest points of pride in our district well into the future. So it's a really great opportunity to lift our kids. I'm sorry.
Are we looking for approval for both
prorated.
numbers or just a stipend of
Yeah,
15,500?
So what we're asking the board to approve tonight, that we're moving forward with the budget, and these stipends will be, we asked the board to approve all stipends. So these stipends on this list here, those stipends for 21-22, we would like to approve those so we can start hiring these people to work with us the rest of the school year. And then the one that you were showing previously, we're going to still work on those, and those will be what the overall stipend schedule that we have to bring for compensation
Okay.
every year.
So the estimate cost is
Yes,
this.
these items right here are what we're asking the board to approve. And we have ESSER funds that we're going to use to pay for these, and up to 100 grand to get started next year. And we'll be looking for other funding. So that's what we're asking.
Okay.
And one point also, the very last item there is not a stipend, but it's the operating expenses to kind of get us started.
Okay.
I
I
move.
have a question. Does the larger sums of the stipend, is that because the instructors or whoever we hire is going to be working with the students all year long the following year, or what?
Well, the project doesn't really go the full year. It's more like approximately 7-8 months. So it's practically the full year, but that individual is going to be the person, the production director. That's going to be the individual who's going to oversee the whole thing. And so that's why that stipend is larger than others. And that follows suit with what we saw at the other district as well.
So I'm sorry, I'm confused. So are the students going to be working only the summer weeks?
This go round,
round.
ma'am, they're going to, the students will be involved in that summer camp in July. And we have to pay our folks, right, compensate our folks for working that summer camp. And then also all the planning that goes into it from now to up to that summer camp.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure when the students were going to be working.
For this first time, ma'am, the students will only be involved during that July camp. Once we start the school year though, then the rehearsals and so forth start right almost at the beginning of school, end of August, early September, and they start up. And that's when the students will be working all the year.
Some of the work that will happen right now is the preliminary, where we will be contacting parents, identifying the students, the mentee, the mentors, all of that work will start happening soon after.
There's a lot of pre-work,
Just like Brian was sharing is, for right now, we're looking at the 21-22 work, which will follow through all the way to July. But then for the fall and then the continuous semesters after that, it will be then for the next cycle that we will be bringing back to the board.
Thank you. Any other questions? We have a motion. We have a second. There's a motion and a second that spring 2022, summer 2022 prorated stipends for planning work and summer camp of 15,500 be approved. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Richard.
Thank you very much.
Consider approval of Crewell Road School of Fine Arts.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Rosa.
Nice to see you.
we have talked about this redesign. My work with Trinity University has allowed me to be part of the third cohort at Trinity, and it's called the Trinity School Design Network, working with colleagues throughout the city of San Antonio, really looking at how do we restructure schools to really not only stay with the times, but also make sure that we are providing our students and our community opportunities for learning in different ways. And my background is in fine arts, and so I feel confident that since we are still very committed to our Southwest ISD goals, we are looking at growth, and we're also looking at how to serve our community moving forward and definitely produce some better results for our students. It's really about a fine arts integration into academics, the continuous improvement model as well, and how do we create a good culture and climate in a different environment for learning for our students. Really, okay, thank you. The fine arts viewpoint really is incorporating the arts into the educational process, exposure to our families and our students, and how do we integrate that together to, again, create a different style of learning. Partnering with Oklahoma A+ Schools Institute, their philosophy is pretty simple. You teach smarter, not harder. So what they're really about is creating better student engagement opportunities, which they have proved through their work throughout the country. That this concept really helps with fewer discipline referrals, better attendance, higher levels of parental involvement. And, you know, this is happening throughout the state through this program. And we all want to see our students be totally engaged in learning. We feel that this is a concept that would work. Some of the things of the overview of the program is really to identify the resources that we have available for us now at CREWAL. The vision is to create, obviously, a school of arts down the road that really sustains all arts. But we know we have to start with where we're at. Looking at the A+ essentials is kind of something that really is what they focus in on. It has to do everything with curriculum, conceptual teaching, the climate and culture building of the school. How do we set goals through arts development? Another part that really is exciting is a coaching model and the networking and collaboration that we offer with this opportunity, and then also stepping in the infrastructure of the school. So logistically, we would keep the campus a pre-K-5 campus, fine arts for every student. Enrollment is fully inclusive. We have to look at the master schedule and how we would incorporate the arts. We are certainly going to do some project-based learning, which is something that Southwest ISD is moving forward with as well right now. Relationship-based teaching, certainly know our teachers also going to have to require quite a bit of professional development in this area. Developing community partnerships. We already have developed some through musical bridges and other areas that we have been working with since I've been at CREWAL. And again, most important also is our parent engagement and involvement piece to how do we improve that as well. Down the road, we are certainly asking for considerations for teachers so that they can support all the arts that are listed there. But I'll take what I can get as soon as we can get it. And we know that also the infrastructure isn't something we need to consider down the road with regards to the building capacity. Right now, CREWAL doesn't have all these areas, but we know through the support and through the infrastructure considerations down the road, we can look at things like this. But right now, I'm willing to use my hallways, classrooms, whatever we have to do to make this happen, and then start incorporating different learning, flexible learning for our students. Really the update, we applied, I was asked by Ms. Garza, Ms. Dalila, that to apply for this Trinity School Design. I started that in June. I go every Friday and Saturday just about, and really work with the university. We applied for the Oklahoma Plus. We were accepted and selected as an associate school of the Oklahoma A+ Schools Institute. They came and gave informational session to our staff and worked with our staff during our last professional development. They stayed the day after and walked our classrooms, very complimentary about the style of teaching already incorporated into CREWAL. And we are setting ourselves up for the new school summit professional development, which is in June. If you build it, they will come. We have a strong feeling that this is something that can really change the landscape of Southwest ISD. And also provide these opportunities for our students. We want to start with our CREWAL community, but eventually my vision is to incorporate all of Southwest ISD, give our students opportunities that they may not have in our regular elementary schools. So our recommendation is that the board approve the new learning model redesign and that the school name be changed from CREWAL Road Elementary to CREWAL Road School of the Arts.
I move.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the Crewell Road School of Fine Arts. The summer of 2022, new school summit cost of $24,725. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you, Mr. Gallego.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And I'd like to thank you for giving up your Friday and Saturday.
You're welcome.
Okay, now, I believe if you have one more thing, do you want to say before we go into closed session?
I know I mentioned the list of activities are happening here for March and going to April. Also want to do a shout out for Castem High School this morning and all day, actually. They hosted a group of 10 folks, 9 of them educators and one of them from the business sector from Columbia, who had an interest in learning how to coalesce industry and education and work to design and develop programs and pathways for students that lead into workforce and college, higher education opportunities. It was a really great event, and I think everyone here would have just been heartwarmed to see our student panel speak and share their experiences and their thoughts about why they chose that and what that school has done. They had, I believe, 4 seniors and a sophomore. They just did a phenomenal job of sharing their experiences with the group. So shout out to Castem. Great job.
Great. Any other? If not, as permitted by sections 551.001-551.146 of the Texas Government Code and pursuant to Code 551.04 and Texas Government Code sections 551.072, we will now go into closed session. Okay. Call this meeting back to order, 7:41. What is that? Item 7, superintendents.
I move that we approve the superintendent's recommendation on personnel.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Nada más.
Just a reminder, we do have soccer going on. All of our 4 teams going to the state UIL playoff. So we also have a relay, a community event, Relay for Life, is having their event this Friday, 6 p.m. Southwest. Where? Oh, you're thinking that way, it's that way. It's at Dragon Stadium. We'll see you guys at 6 p.m. That's all, sir.
Great. Wow, this is almost too easy. 7:42, we adjourn.